All right, so here we are with Rip. We're going to continue his off-leash work. And a couple things that I'm going to be working on here are just reviewing his touch marker, or his touch command, I mean, and which is one of the finishers that we talked about. I'm also going to work on his through command, which is one of the finishers we talked about. And I'm also going to work on the sit. We're going to do kind of like a rapid fire of these, just to get it fresh in his mind. And it's, life gets busy, it's been cold outside, things like that. So we're gonna pick up where we left off. Even though I've worked with him off and on, I haven't filmed everything. And so now what we're gonna do is just review those finishers here and see how he does, okay? All right, and I'm gonna create movement. One other thing that's worth noting is off and on, I'm testing him by dropping the leash. I have to trust him a little bit. And this is a good way to practice because I have food. He's super food motivated. And as you can see, hey buddy, he's super food motivated. There's something in his eye. And so his focus may be a lot more aligned with what I'm doing. And so I'm actually okay to use this on the ground every now and then. So you can see he's super pumped. And this is just kibble, just boring kibble. And he's already eaten breakfast and everything, just to put it in perspective. All right, so here we go. Touch. Yes. And I don't mind him jumping at me right now. I could care less because he's wanting to be near me. Touch. Yes. Good job. Good. Touch. Yes. Good job. Change up the location instead of just my left hip area. So, good. Touch. Yes. Good. Yes. So I just want him thinking in generalization, I want him to generalize the skill. So there's his through. He's still got to get a little bit better at this one more efficiently, but he's way better than he was when I first started with it. Good. Break. You still see with this command, I'm altering my movements to adapt to him. In other words, with Nova, for example, I could stand right here and I say through and she'll go right through. I don't have to change my angles. With him, I have to adapt a little bit and kind of meet him where he's at. Through. And for now, that's totally fine. And if that had to be that way forever, that's fine too. It doesn't matter. The whole point is getting him back to me. And the only reason I'm saying the command now is because he's been doing it regularly enough, so he's likely to follow the words since I'm saying it in a let's say in a proper timing. With the lure, the reliability of the lure. You missed one, buddy. There you go. All right, we're gonna do the sit now. So I'm gonna toss one here. Rip, come. Sit. Good. Break. Rip, come. Sit. Good. Good. Go get one, buddy. I'm gonna let him finish that. Rip, come. Sit. Now, when we get to the longer line out in the big field, you're going to see my praise and my organization of how I respond to his recall. It's going to be a lot different, or not a lot more. It's going to be a little bit more developed, let's say. Right now, I'm just trying to focus on the finishers. Sit. Touch. I'm going to do a variety now. Touch. Yes. Good. Touch. Yes. Let him get those for a moment. And this sort of mimics a little bit of distraction in the real environment. I mean, his nose is going just like it would be if it was like rabbit poop or something like that. You know, so here, we toss another one. We're gonna get the through. Rip, come. Again, you still see me adapting to his needs with that one, and that'll shift as time goes on. Touch. So you can see that one. I'm going to do that again because he was lazy about it, even though he's working hard. He was coming with about 2 inches from the hand. And I want him to follow that target wherever. So touch. Yes. So I'm going to do that again. Touch. Couple more throughs. Rip, rip, rip. Good job, buddy. Come on. Sit. Here. So, from an evaluation standpoint, his finishers, the 3 that I've focused on, the through, the sit, and the touch, I would definitely give him an A in this context right here. So when we get on the long line, we'll see how he does, but he definitely is primed to do those behaviors. So we're gonna branch out to the field on a 50-foot. We'll go from there. All right, so what we're gonna do, you can kind of film this field here. So we're gonna be kind of out in this field in different areas, and Rip's got a 50-foot line on. In the beginning, I'm gonna be holding the line at 20, 30, 40 feet, you know, distance, give or take. And what's gonna happen is I'm gonna gauge him where he's at. I've got, you know, a pretty good amount of his kibble here. Like I said, he's already had a good breakfast, so this is just like extra stuff, and he can eat all day if I let him. And so we're gonna just have some fun. And what you're gonna notice when I'm recalling him back to me, I am gonna say the command. And I'm also gonna be very dynamic with my body, with my sounds, with my, sometimes the high pitch sound can help, sometimes the brrr. See how that got his attention right there? That helps, the patting of the legs helps. I'm trying to use his innate nature. Hi, buddy. Trying to use his innate nature to my advantage. So he's highly motivated by sound. He's highly motivated by movement. And tonality. You know, these are things that a lot of dogs are very motivated by. So he's ready to get going. So I'm gonna do those few things. But once he decides to come back to me, you're gonna see my level of the reward or the excitement, my response going way up. So this is Rip through and through. So my response is gonna go higher and elevated, meaning, like I talked about before, I might be like, hey, Rip, come, tap, 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 whatever. And then when he comes, I'm gonna ignite, like, whoa, oh my God, and I'm gonna be backing up and still creating that movement. So just watch how I do that, and then I'm gonna add the finisher at the end. So I still want him thinking there's a job to do at the end of the task, which is his recall, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and get going here. All right, good. So that's good for that intro. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and kind of head around here. One of the challenges you'll see with this guy is he may pick up a stick every now and then, so a battle may ensue, but that's okay. All right, so I'm gonna, again, just follow along, watch. I already gave an intro, so watch how I do it. over one thing while he's just doing all that. So one of the things is, I think it was the first recall we did out there, once I got him on the long line, he pretty much was like, screw you, I'm not coming back. And when he did that, I gave him a couple seconds to really think, but that's where you have to have you have to finish you have to teach him how to finish the task. And so when he kind of blew off the command he's gonna start shredding here. Just film that a little bit. He's gonna try to break it, shred it, you name it. Oh, get it untangled. There we go. And then he's gonna herd it all around Frederick. Sorry, I like watching this. I have some slow-mo videos of him just shredding, and he just tries to break it with his quick little snaps. Let's see if he'll do it. Yeah, there it is. Yep. I would not want to be a rabbit for this guy. So, anyways. Good buddy. Out. That's it. Out. So the other cool thing, sorry I'm a little sidetracked here, but that was a good point, or a good thing I need to say. The coolest thing is I haven't even introduced his toys or a stick in the context of a recall. That's going to be the icing on the cake for this guy because he loves to play. So if you have a dog that's a hard player and that loves a ball on a rope or loves a frisbee or whatever, like that's also going to help you quite a bit. A tug toy, a stick, you know, you name it. But the cool thing is we're getting a lot done without that. So then later when we add that, it's going to really, really solidify everything mixed with e-collar responsiveness and accountability and all that. So this guy's a freaking tank. So where was I? Yeah, anyways, he blew off the first command. I gave him a few seconds to decide because he's not a robot. And then when he legitimately chose to not come back, I said something like, ah, and then gave a nice hard tug on the rope or on the line. And then he came back very efficiently and I praised him. I didn't like scold him. Like, you know, I just praised him, made it really fun for him when he finally decided. All right, so we're gonna do some more walking over here, and if you want to follow some more. And he's gonna be looking for sticks now, but for now, what I'm letting him know is that's not what we're doing. Because again, for those of you who've seen some videos before, you know he's a dog that will actually shred the sticks and then swallow the pieces of them, which is not good. He can handle it, but it's not good for him. So yeah, if you want to probably pan out wide like that, yeah. Now I am going to start dropping the line as well, because he's had 3 successful recalls before. So I am going to start dropping the line now. One of the reasons why good off-leash training, off-leash reliability training takes so long, if you do it well, is because you want the dog to feel free to explore. And so like there, when he was at my side, I don't want to like recall him right there. It makes no sense. So I've got to just live life with him, let him walk around, let him get distracted, and then call him. Let's see how he does here. Rip, come on. Yeah, buddy. Sit. Boy. Break. So that was a really good example. He was on a scent, like on a trail in the grass there, very interested in something, but he's definitely learning, and I didn't have to use the line at all, which is really good. So I want to let him get a little sidetracked. There he goes. Now I'm going to call him with the stick and just see. I'm just going to test him here. He's going to go try to shred it, but all right, so here we go. Rip, come on, bud. Yeah, good job. So right here, this is where I have to hold him accountable. Oh. And so later at the end of it, we'll play. I think I'll actually give him a little fun play moment. But in the meantime, If you notice, when he had the stick, he blew past me, which doesn't count as a successful recall. So that's why I want him focusing first, and then later we'll add those normal things. I want him to be able to leave anything and come back to me. Like I want him to be able to leave a rabbit that he's chasing and come back to me. I want him to be able to leave a stick on the ground and come back to me. Leave a pile of food that he found on the ground. These are all things that are really important. If you're somebody who wants to get your dog off leash, if you don't practice the real life stuff, it just sounds good on paper, but it's not reality. You know, you need your dog to come back. If you want to go hiking with your dog and he can't run away from like a deer, like can't run back to you from a deer, then your dog's going to be 2 miles into the mountains, you know, for example. So you've got to figure out a system that works, but part of it is scaffolding reality into your dog's practice. I'm going to do 2 more really good ones here. Since he failed that one, I'm going to give him 1 more chance, and if he fails a second one, then I'm going to go back to holding the line the whole time. What I did there was I just felt like he was kind of clinging to where I was, and I don't want that, so I just threw some food in the grass, and this will be a harder recall for him, but it gets him away from me. So sometimes you can adapt in that way, but I am going to be ready to grab the line here because I have a feeling he'll be too interested in the food. Rip, 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 come on, bud. Come on. Yes. Good boy. Touch. Nope, touch. Good boy. Good boy. So that's why we have to practice that, because food is one of his biggest things. You see he knows exactly where to go back to. But real quick with that, you notice when he ran back, if you see that when you look back on the video, he did not complete the finisher the first time, so he didn't actually touch my palm. The good news was he stuck around my body, which is important, but then I required him to finish the task instead of just doing it partially. So he did do great. I'm gonna tell him, good job checking in with me. I like that he kind of checks in every now and then. I'm gonna do a few more here. Rip. So this one's gonna be a hard one again. Let's see how he does. This is a good gauging point, you know? And again, I'm gonna be ready by grabbing this. Rip, rip, rip. Come on, bud. Come on. Yes. Oh, wow. Touch. Touch. Yes. Good job. So you can see when he's distracted by food in that context, it's harder for him to finish the recall with the finisher. So that's good information. That's all that is. It's good information for me. It helps me plan the next step. So I'm going to do that again. He's looking for the food. Let's see how he does here. And eventually you'll see this is where we eventually can overlay the e-collar, but not yet. Rip, rip, rip. Come on, bud. Yeah. Good job. Touch. Good boy. So I actually think that was a really good one to end on because he recalled away from some food in the field. My son's got to get to school, and but yeah, he did a really good job there. He stuck with it, and I didn't have to use a leash to kind of hold him accountable, so to speak. He just worked it out. So now here's the one trick. This is where people make big mistakes with off-leash training. He's just worked really, really hard that whole time, and he did a really good, he did probably 5 or 6 really good recalls that were, I would say, high quality based on where he is in the process. And so the worst thing I can do is keep training him. So if I go back to the house and I'm training him the whole way back, like asking him to do this or asking him to do that, recalling him, it's like you're creating more situations for there to be a problem of him not responding to the command. So as we go back, I'm just gonna walk back with him and let him do what he wants to do as long as it's safe. If he gets a stick and starts trying to eat it, I'm gonna, get that out of his mouth. Other than that, I'm gonna let him be a dog, and that's really important. So, all right. But anyways, follow me just for a little bit there. And so if I were going home right now, which I am in just a minute, this is what I would be doing. I'd just let him, I already told him great job, and now I'm gonna let him just be a dog, barring any safety concerns, that's it. And sometimes I think humans are sort of addicted to training their dog. Like sometimes people will tell their dog to sit like, I don't know, 30 times in a day, or, like, try to use the commands when you think it's actually valuable, or prep the dog in that way. Don't have them just like sit all day. Use those things when it's practical, and prep them in drills. That's different, but don't overtrain your dog throughout the day. It's not good for them or you. It doesn't make sense. So, yeah, I'm gonna grab my bag. Thanks, Dante.